Paris, Paris, Paris. I missed you so much.
De Montmartre à Notre-Dame, un monde entier sommeille. Mais au premier rayon de soleil, au premier rayon de soleil, au premier rayon de soleil, le Paris village s'éveille.
This isn't my first time in Paris. Last time I was here was 19 months ago for my master's graduation. And after living here for a year and a half, studying and working, I ended up falling in love with the city. Okay, who am I kidding? I knew I'd love Paris even before I moved here. It was always one of my two dream places to live. And what started as a study abroad turned into so much more. But like all good chapters, that one eventually had to come to an end. And now I'm back. Not to stay this time, but just to relive a little piece of it. It's been officially 1.5 years since I left the city, and I once considered the city to be my own city. And it's so crazy for me to realize that now I can only come back to the city as a tourist and appreciate it from different lenses. And once I was guiding the city to my friends and family, and now I am a tourist myself. I just arrived to Paris, and the absolute first thing I need to do is to go to a proper bakery, baby. The first thing I have to do is to go to a boulangerie. No, it turns out to be Paul, so no, we're not gonna go there. If there's one bakery you should not go, it's definitely Paul. Paul, only when nothing else is available, even little. One of the things I miss the most in Paris are boulangeries. So naturally, the very first thing I did when I landed in Paris was go straight to that heavenly place. Oh, I've been waiting for this for more than a year. When I lived here, I couldn't stop talking about how lucky Parisians were to have a bakery in practically every corner. Seriously, every neighborhood has at least one. Bonjour, ça va? Un pain au chocolat, s'il vous plaît. Growing up with these butter gut-touch pastries, it was such a huge letdown to discover how hard it is to find a simple, buttery, actually delicious pastry as an adult. Unless you have time to bake them yourself, which I didn't. But when I moved to Paris, my inner child was on cloud 9. Honestly, Parisians kind of take boulangeries for granted. So they looked at me like I was crazy, like I was from a jungle for having at least one pastry every single day. In front of me, the world's, well, Paris's best croissant of 2022. Let's try it. They're supposed to serve this to White House, well, the French White House, the year after they win the award. And this was supposed to be the best croissant in the world. Super buttery and flaky, just how I like them. And yes, I enjoyed every bite, every day, because I knew that this wouldn't last forever. So I made sure to savor it under any circumstances. Even in the rainy day, this is a must. It's time to go shopping. I look like Inspector Gadget. I want to go to the store behind me, but it's empty. There are 4 associates, and it's just super intimidating. So I'm not gonna go.
Je veux juste rester auprès de toi. Tu verras la vie, c'est toi et moi. La nuit est éclairée, l'amour est notre vérité. Si tu es mon monde,
So far, nothing good. It is 550 euros. I'm too poor and I can't afford anything here. Bonjour. I can't afford none of these, but I still want to try some new fancy things, so I'm just gonna try them for free and never buy them ever. Now this is fashion. Why it has to be so fucking expensive? The amount of stuff here, it's crazy. Life can be good. Da, 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 da. One of my absolute favorite things about living in Paris was how easy it was to escape the city. At any moment, you can be in London or Malta in just a couple of hours. But some of the most magical places were actually much closer. And one of my personal favorites, which I share with Monsieur Claude Monet, was this small coastal village of Étretat. Wow.
Un coin tranquille, peut-être une île, bien docile. La nuit défile dans mon exil, un coin tranquille. Tu veux savoir s'il va pleuvoir? C'est pas toujours facile quand il fait noir. Est-ce que tu y crois? C'est difficile à dire, le goût de l'espoir. Un coin tranquille, peut-être une île.
Hoping somehow, someday, there comes a...
La nuit défile Parfois je fuis, mais voilà, je suis là.
If only there was some tea and some good chocolate.
Au bout du fil, un coin tranquille, peut-être une île, vie indocile. La nuit défile dans mon exil, un coin tranquille.
I'm again by these beautiful cliffs and by this beautiful sea, and it's been 2 years since I've been here, and there's something about being in the same place years apart that makes you rethink and rehash all the things that have happened since the first time. And I feel like I'm just having one of those moments where in my head there's a supercut of things that have happened over the past 2 years. And some moments are great and some moments are not so great. But nevertheless, I just feel grateful. And all I can focus on is now, and all I can focus on is my future and how can I be better, and hopefully next year or 2 years from now I can come back to this beautiful place and think about all the amazing things that have happened, or even of some fails that I experienced that are hopefully going to teach me a new lesson. Despite what a lot of people say, as of now, this is still my favorite city in the world. And coming back here reminded me just how much I missed Paris. And I really missed my little routine. I took the same metro line I used to ride to work every day. I ate at the same bouillons I used to drag everyone to. I walked the same streets where I racked up what must have been like millions of steps. I even tried to revive my semi-functional French in the exact spots where I knew English wouldn't fly. Ça travaille. No, I don't know how to say that works. C'est bon. C'est bon, oui. Poitrine fumée.
Poitrine fumée, c'est comme du bacon.
Oh, bacon, non.
Tartelette au poire. Et vous avez un café? Je peux prendre un sandwich de poulet et un pain au chocolat s'il vous plaît. Oui. Merci. Vous avez... can you heat like warm like that, like toasted?
Non.
Non? Okay. Vous avez un autre ketchup? Do you have more ketchup? Ah, merci.
Yep, I know. That was painful. But the point is, I missed Paris.
This chateau looks like the chateau in Saltburn.
One thing I promised myself this time around was to slow down and truly take in the artistic and cultural side of the city. During my time living here, I mostly experienced the urban, fast-paced, high-energy version of Paris. But this time around, I wanted to pay attention to what I once may have overlooked. And honestly, I was very overwhelmed. There's just so much art. Museums around every corner, trillion-year-old chapels.
C'est bizarre.
Pop-up galleries and abandoned buildings. World-famous sculptures and paintings scattered across nearly every arrondissement. It really felt like a feast for those who are creatively starved. And it's not just art, it's culture as a whole. Like, who knew rugby was such a big deal here? I never thought I'd find myself at a rugby game, watching grown guys throw themselves at each other like their lives depended on it.
I don't know what's happening, but it looks so cool.
Maybe I was just too busy or too new before, but I didn't take any of this in. But I'm glad I did now. It's been 19 months since I last lived here, but to this day, it still feels like a fever dream. Like, wait, did I actually live here? Did I really go to a grad school here? I sometimes forget I even have a master's degree. Did I seriously work in a French-speaking office in a completely different industry as the only non-French speaker? Everything about that time was just so fast and scary and new and really, really challenging. But it became something that I will now hold close to my heart forever. Listen, all I can say to the city is thank you and à bientôt, Paris.
What a better way to end this trip than to watch the sun go down by the Eiffel Tower. A bird literally shat on me